Joining us now is a powerhouse in our community, Emily O'Connor from Lydia Place. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. This is a new and different day. It's exciting.
Right. Yay!
Yeah.
So happy to have you.
Thanks.
Yeah. I love everything you do. You are a powerhouse. I can't believe everything that you do with Lydia Place. But tell us what Lydia Place does for our community.
Well, we are, as you know, working in the sector of those experiencing homelessness. And what we're really trying to focus on, though, is not just changing individuals' housing status from, say, unhoused to housed, but really looking at what are the conditions that have contributed and led to them experiencing that housing stability, and how do we make sure we're doing enough within the scope of that work such that the children that are being served in our programs today can be that last generation in their family to experience homelessness and can really come out of that in a way that gives them not just a marginally better opportunity at a bright future, but a real opportunity. And so that is that means for us that we are doing a whole variety of different things in addition to housing, right? Housing being that first critical step. But then we also have really intensive home visiting parenting programs to help support the parents that we're working with. And you know, as a mom of 3 kids, parenting is really hard, and I have a lot of resources at my disposal. And so we really want to provide that extra support for the parents that are in our program so that they can get not just the difficulty out of parenting, but the joy, right? And then we also have a mental health program as well, including substance use disorder specialists. So really being able to meet people where they're at and support their whole health and address some of those things that oftentimes those trauma experiences that they've never had an opportunity to really work through, and give them the grace and the space and the support to be able to work on those things.
I am by no means trying to simplify anything, but from all the work that you do, is there 1 or 2 small things that you're like, if we could just flip this switch, we would be able to streamline, we would be able to impact more? Is there anything like that that you see being so involved?
Yeah, I mean, we have some major problems that we need to work on as a community, as a society, as a country. And I think that until we start to have those really honest conversations about why is it that so many people are living on the brink, right? What is it within our structures that are holding people there, that are putting people there, and that are keeping people there? And so I think we spend a lot of time in crisis response, right? It takes up a lot of our time and our energy. We see the impact, that public impact of issues like homelessness. And so we tend to respond to the symptoms without really asking the hard questions of ourselves about the structures that we have put in place and the systems that we have put in place that are continuing to perpetuate and amplify those experiences for so many in our community. So that, I mean, there's no easy switch, right? It's the hard work, but I think we need to lean more into the hard work rather than looking for the easy solutions, because we can't get there through just building additional shelter capacity or bigger jail capacity. We have to look at the why, right? How is it that people get into the situations that they're in, and what's the accountability for all of us in that?
Amen.
You talked about being a parent. I understand that. Childcare is a huge factor when it comes to that, and we've recently had some changes here with childcare and 500 and some odd people not having a job, basically, for childcare. How's that going to impact our community? How's that going to impact Lydia Place?
Well, it's a huge problem in this community and in many communities. I mean, we have in Whatcom County, before we lose 500 spots, we've had for quite a while 4 spots for every 10 children in Whatcom County. And so, you know, you imagine these families that are trying to work 2 and 3 jobs already, right? As we talked about, what is that cost of living compared to minimum wage or what the median home price is. And so there's a real uphill battle there for folks, and it has some really severe consequences when you can't find or afford childcare. And so those really complicate the situations. They puts children in not ideal unsafe situations sometimes because parents are doing the best that they can to be able to get to work. It costs employers a lot of lost productivity when their workforce doesn't have access to childcare. So I think it's an issue that we need to embrace, and we haven't done a good job of supporting families with children. As you know, as a community, as a society, we have a lot of room to grow in that area, but it's in our own best interest to do that, right? Because we are the children of yesterday, and our children are the grown-ups of tomorrow, and they can either be healthy and thriving, or we can sort of carry on with some of these challenges that we see when they don't get their needs met and aren't cared for and loved and seen in the way they need to be.
Definitely, absolutely. What is the one question you would like our community to be pondering?
You know, when I think about those who are experiencing homelessness, there's a huge invisibility factor, and I think we need more compassion, and I think it would be worth our time to really think about what are the privileges that some of us are born with that others don't have, and also to really dig into, like, what should I know about your experiences with our structures, with our systems that have contributed to making your life hard, right? What do I need to learn about your experiences? And those are some questions that I think would be worth us all leaning into a little bit more to try and get at what's my accountability in this, right? You talked about accountability versus compassion. And I think we focus on accountability for the people who are already in a disadvantaged place, as opposed to accountability for us humans who have more resources than we need to get by. And these systems hold people down, right? So where's our accountability, right? Where's how we spend our money is a display of our values. And as Mike Parker said, I think we get an F. So I hope we spend some time really thinking about our own accountability, those of us who have opportunities and privileges in abundance.
Wow. I've got no other question. Yeah, thank you. Thank you just for being here. Thank you for being a force behind Lydia Plays, and thank you for making a difference. We need to have more people like you in our community. Thank you.
It's my privilege.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.